Hello and welcome to another edition of the OCVarsity Gridiron Show. I'm freelance video journalist Jonathan Khamis. This is week 3. I'm here with Dan the Man Albano and political fire starter Steve Fryer.
Good morning.
Did you have some double-double before you came here?
I have that for breakfast every day. That's why I look so good.
Stick to sports, Steve. Just kidding. All right, guys, we're going to talk about the game of the week, which is 3-0 Capistrano Valley. They are at 2-0 Yorba Linda. The last meeting, guys, Capo beat Yorba 38-7. Manning had 5 touchdowns, just like he did last week, guys. It beat in a win against Pacifica 44-7. Steve, you were at that game, but what do you think about this game?
Boy, Manning is really super good, and he's got such a great assortment of receivers, Morgan, Haley, etc. I think of those 5 touchdown passes, 4 of them went to different receivers, and they look really good. Great offensive line. You know, Yorba Linda is really good. They're going to be a contender in the Crestview League with Villa Park. I think they're the top 2 teams in that league from what we see so far. How about Marina? Elmo could be in there too, but I really like those 2 teams ahead of the Vanguards at this point. But like, it's pretty darn early, and things can change. You know, it's how you play the day you play. But Capistrano Valley, man, they look like a machine. They look really good.
Yeah, I can tell just by being with them in preseason camp. They are loaded. Dan, last week, Yorba Linda beat Troy 26-6. Look for that defender. I know you like the defensive guys. Jason Serco, he has 10 total tackles so far. But Manning, I mean, 5 touchdowns in the first half alone last week. This guy's on another level.
Yeah, he's up to 15 touchdowns and 1 interception for his ratio this year. So, you know, the only thing the Capo really hasn't done too much is run the ball, but maybe you understand why. But come South Coast League, they're going to probably have to run the ball more and more effectively than they have right now. Manning's thrown it 91 times, and they've run it 47. So you can see the ratio. But, you know, it's an interesting game for me because you look at the Yorba Linda, you know, they're allowing 11 points per game. Played 2 pretty solid teams in Troy, and especially I think Valencia was their best win. But so it's a good defense, you know, anchored by Callahan, Ricky Lane in the secondary, Callahan at defensive end. But, you know, have they seen a high-powered offense, an aerial attack like they're going to see against Capo Valley? They haven't. So it's a big step up, and you know they're going to, you know, Yorba Linda is going to see that in the Crestview League when they head on to Villa Park and Paul Piferi. So this is a big game, but I think it's going to be a tough one. I'm picking Capo, but I think that Yorba Linda's defense is pretty good, but I don't think they're quite ready to see an aerial attack like this one.
Well, we know Coach Jeff Bailey is going to coach those guys up, and they have a cool new entrance this year. I'm excited to see it next week. All right, Edison is they will be at San Juan Hills. Both these teams are 1-2 in the last meeting, gentlemen. Edison beat San Juan Hills 28-0. Edison also beat them in 2016. So San Juan Hills and their new coach Rob Frith looking to get off the schneid and pick up a W against Edison. Steve,
you know they've lost to a couple of good teams. South Hills, which is ranked I think 4th in Division 6, and then they lost to Orange Lutheran 27-7 in the opener. So I think San Juan Hills is going to be pretty good. Good enough to beat Edison. Boy, Edison, you know, last week they got a win they needed. A big one-sided win over Canyon, 51-14. But gosh, you know, this is a tight game, I think, Dan. It's going to be a tough one to pick. You know, right now I would go with San Juan Hills. Maybe if I look a little bit deeper at do my research later, I'll change my mind. But right now I think the Stallions might get that.
Dan, Edison last week, they had a school record by Cole Koffler. He had a school record with 265 yards receiving, and we know Edison, guys. That's a school that's had some really good quarterbacks and really good receivers, so congrats to Cole. But, Dan, what do you think about the matchup?
Yeah, he broke the record held by one Dennis Flanagan, former standout receiver at Edison, went on to play at Hawaii. So that was a big-time record. But Edison's going into the bye, so I think they're going to play really well. Stallions, they got to bounce back. They usually play well at home. So I think it's a pretty good matchup because I like San Juan Hills defense. Pete Sylvie, the defensive coordinator, does a really good job. I like defensive end Cade Albright, who's already got 5 sacks. See, they played pretty well defense against Orange Lutheran. I was impressed with that. They pressured Helinski, and now it's going to be a matchup against that Jeff Grady coached offense at Edison that seems to be rolling right now.
All right, finally, guys, we have 2-1 Marina. They will be at 3-0 Katella. This game's at Westminster High School. Katella last week beat Esperanza 55-6. And how good have the Knights been this year, Steve?
Last couple years.
I know.
I think they're
so
like,
far,
I think they're like 25-3 over the last 3 years or some remarkable.
They've been on a heck of a run. They won CIF last year, and they've shown no signs of slowing down. They're only allowing 6.5 points per game. They've created 11 turnovers this year, while also scoring 153 points.
Well,
is that good?
I'm no math expert, but gosh darn, Jonathan, I think those are pretty good numbers. Like I was saying, they've been really good over the last 3 years. De Palma's got it going on. I mean, a great group of kids over there. I saw Marina last week. Very good. And I think the funny thing about Marina, not funny, haha, but funny, interesting, is that they're in a new league, the Big Four League. They were always in the Sunset League. They do fine in non-league games. They know the Sunset League, Los Al, Edison, et cetera, out there waiting. It's kind of like, they knew that was coming. It's kind of a burden on them, I think, psychologically. Now they know in the Big Four League with Garden Grove, Segerson, Westminster, maybe definitely a better competitive fit. I think that makes them feel good now. I think that's already paying dividends now. They feel like, we can get on a bit of a roll here, get some momentum going, and then we won't crash and burn in the Sunset League. I think they feel pretty good about themselves. That's kind of the buzz I got from the fellas when I watched them play the other day.
Yeah, different mentality this year for the Vikings. They picked up a great win against Laguna Hills, 34-25. You were at that game, Steve. Farrell Rush. I mean, what a great name for a running back. Perfect. 196 yards rushing,
nice
3
kid
touchdowns.
Too, man. Good kid. He's got to be like 5'7" or something like that. But once he gets in the hole, boom, he goes.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. And last time Marina was in the playoffs was 2001. I know it's early, but it might be a cool vibe around this team this year, Dan.
Yeah, I know. Talked to Coach Turley preseason, and it's like a cloud that's been lifted off over their program, getting out of the Sunset League. I'm going to pick Katella in this game. I like the way Riley Finnegan, quarterback, first-year starter, big kid, like 6'5", 6'6". He's been outstanding. 11 touchdowns this season, no interceptions. So he's got a Nathan Manning-like ratio. He's completing 70% of his passes, but he's got a lot of help on that offense. Guys like Ed Williams at tight end, who's also a outside linebacker, D-end, rush. Andrew Pisani can run it. Catella's got good linemen. Pretty well coached by Coach De Palma. So I think this could be a pretty good game, but I'm picking the Katella Knights. And circling back to our previous game, that's a tough one to pick. I didn't get my pick out there, guys, but I'm going to go with Edison to win that game against San Juan Hills. But I'm with you, Fryer. I think that's a tough game to pick. You're going to have to, we both got to, I'm putting mine out there now. I know it's going to be a tough one to pick.
Make your quick picks, Steve. We got to go to our viewer question of all the games we talked about. Make your quick picks.
Capo, I think I said Capo. Right. San Juan Hills at this point, I think. Yeah, I think so. But, and Katella also. I think Katella is just playing pretty fierce.
All right, let's go to our viewer question of the week, and we want to thank Taryn Rodriguez at Taryn Rodriguez1, who's sending in this question. With Los Al's big win over Long Beach Poly last week, do you think they are a team to watch out for in Division II, and do you think they can repeat as Sunset League champions? Dan.
Well, I think they are. I move them back to the favorite. My favorite going in preseason in the Sunset League was CDM, but that's a significant win against Long Beach Poly. So you got to give up to Griffins. I rank them higher this week. I break them into the top 10 in my top 10 rankings, and I think they are the team to beat right now, the defending champs. It was that significant of a win where you weren't sure where Los Al was, losing their first game. Poly looked great, and there came the Griffins.
Yeah, I mean, that was an eye-opening win for me. Steve, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so, too. Definitely Los Al gets on top of the pile in the Sunset League for me, beating Poly and by a couple touchdowns, too. Great defensive effort and great all-around effort, too. Ready, very good for them defensively. Had a bunch of tackles and things like that.
But can they repeat as Sunset League champions, Steve?
Yeah, definitely they can. They've got offensive guys, too, Norman, et cetera. And, I think they look like the best team in the league. Corona Del Mar, I think, looks like number 2 at this point. I saw them lose pretty big to Jay Serra. I think that spoke more to the fact that Jay Serra is really good than Corona Del Mar. Garbers, Humphreys, Redmond, et cetera. They got a lot going on for them over there. So, but right now, just because of who's got the best win in their pocket, Los Al.
Yeah, and D2's on the spotlight because this week, Edison and San Juan Hills, both Division II teams.
Yeah. But Upland in that division, watch out for. You know, they beat La Habra early. They've been good for a few years now. You know, we've also got Rancho Verdes in that league out in Moreno Valley. You know, Norco's always trouble. So it's a Division II's, you know, it's a drop from Division I, but it's still pretty darn good.
One. Yeah, it's an outstanding football division. All right, well, thank you to Dan Albano. Thank you to Steve Fryer. I'm Jonathan Khamis. We'll see you out at the games this weekend. Thank you for watching.